Hey, my name is Cath Thorlakson. I'm the Program Director of the Pastoral Care Counselling program. Our world is very broken, lots of mental health issues and addictions issues and people not understanding why they do what they do. We really need pastors, leaders, preachers, caregivers, and counselors who know how to work with those people with skill to motivate and inspire them. So we teach people both the knowledge base and the skill base to be able to do that, all of that very well. The PCC program seeks to take people from a basis of starting to understand them first. So that happens in the first year. Then in the second year, we add to that a base of understanding that includes abnormal psychology, which is mental health basically, and neurodiversity. It adds addictions knowledge. It adds basic psychology. And then in the third year, we take that knowledge base and we add on to its skills, conversational skills, relational skills, some small group skills, so that they know how to work with people well, to draw out understanding and motivation, all that kind of stuff. And then in the fourth year, we take that knowledge and skill base and we develop it further to apply those kind of skills to leadership and preaching and pastoring, and all the things that we teach people to do, of course, caring and counseling, so that they can do that with good skill and be effective in their ministries. We're fortunate here at Vanguard to have awesome instructors that can teach biblical truth, theology, so that we are working from a really strong theological basis. In the PCC program then, we take that in a very practical direction. So I will ask them to understand suffering from both the point of view of psychology and theology. And so in the PCC program, we teach them how to integrate those two things together. In care and counseling, the person themselves is actually the instrument that is important in that work. So walking with Jesus in this kind of work, I believe all kinds of work, but it's just crucial. It is the way that you really give good quality care and leadership to people. So it's very important that it's integrated at a very practical level. Something that I believe is unique about Vanguard as a whole is students have practical experience through the entire course of their 4 or however many years they're here for. And PCC, of course, then is a part of that. So we start with, right in the first year, having students telling their stories to each other and caring for each other in the context of that story. It's a short thing for each student, but those skills start to grow in a practical way. Then it goes through the rest of the program. So by the time a PCC student has gone through their 4 years, they have actually spent a lot of time counseling people about real issues, because we get real in the PCC program about that kind of thing. I ask people to work authentically. And so that makes the learning very raw and real and practical. I also take a group of students in their 3rd year to do a retreat of silence and community. That is a whole day that we spend together and not together, alone with the Lord, and then talking about what God is saying to us in that time alone. Students come in often intimidated by that, because it's daunting to think about a whole day of just praying, that kind of thinking. But I give them a guide. And by the end of the day, students typically are saying that went so fast, or I think I'm going to incorporate that and change how I walk with the Lord. So it turns out well for students, but we take time to be alone with the Lord, and then we come back to community and talk about what God is saying. So we start the day with worship, we end the day with worship, and then we have those times alone with the Lord. So when we get together, we actually are ministering together, sharing together, or whatever. And that is a really important spiritual discipline that students then can take out to their life and their ministry. I believe it's crucial. In February each year, I take the students on a 5-day trip During that trip, they get some kind of ministry experience, or they take in some kind of conference. And during the trip, I have the 4th year students lead with me. So they are actually leading all the first years in small groups, so that the first years are well cared for, but the 4th years are further developing their leadership skills. So that is time for us to build our relationship with the Lord and with each other, while also building skills. I've actually been told that our students have a leg up when they go on, particularly into Masters of Counseling courses, because by the time they graduate, they have spent so many hours actually counseling each other on very real and very raw issues, so that they have really laid down a strong skill base that they've started to pick up in the 3rd year, based on a strong knowledge base that they've picked up in the 1st and 2nd years. So students are prepared to integrate faith with good psychological principles, good listening skills, so that they're ready for ministry or going forward in education. So after building the knowledge base and the skill base, the spiritual disciplines, the ability to hear the voice of the Lord as they're working, we send students out to work effectively and dynamically with people, with a context of good community, so that they can stay healthy through a lifelong ministry, while also learning and growing and doing all of that effectively.